Yeah. Uncle Plugg TV, we tapped in. Turn that camera on, let's talk, man. Every plug got a story for me. Uncle Plugg TV, we lit, no capping. Talk that game, whole city tapping. From the trap to the mic, he's snapping. Plugged in deep, that fat, no whacking. Yeah. Uncle Plugg TV, that motion. Boss type talk, real life devotion. They dry hit like a potion. Whole team up, now we coasting. Came from the bottom, made it look easy. OG vibes, but the flow too breezy. Talk money moves, never move breezy. Knowledge and hustle, the combo too beastly. Camera was rolling, he speaking that truth. Been through the struggle, we showing the proof. From them late nights, grinding in the booth to the podcast. Now we voice of the youth.
Welcome back to Uncle Plugg TV, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Now let's get to the show.
They want to see you down. They don't like that nigga who's still smiling. You know, and I know that. So I gotta be strong for that too. I ain't finna let these motherfuckers think they got the best of me. Even if they getting the best of me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Strong will.
Yeah, strong will, man. Let them you not breaking me, man.
Welcome back, family. Welcome back. I am Uncle Plugg. Welcome back to Uncle Plugg TV. I have a special guest with me today. It's good people. Y'all, please put your hands together for Riri. What's up, sugar? What's happening with you? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. You know, just peaceful, calm. Normally we give a lot of energy, but not today. We just gonna parlay and we gonna chill. You know, I got the family in the chat already, man. Chat 333. Got my boy Souls of Thoughts with 333. My boy Classic Codes with 333. Classic Codes say, "What's up, Riri?"
What's up?
Yeah, my
Thank
boy.
you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you could make it, man. Glad you could make it. My boy Sco in the building, 333. That's good, man. We're gonna jump right into it today. And you know, as you can see at the bottom, this show is titled No Sympathy for the Strong. Jumped it off of my boy Boosie Boo. You know, he just went through a whole lot this week. You seen it? Did you see it?
Yes.
So Boosie ended up with probation, but I thought they were gonna get my boy out of there. Man. And man, he got probation. Won't be no weed smoking on this one here, boy. Unless he got him a card. Now, if he got him a card, he perfect.
Well, it depends on where you are. Yep.
Yeah. He in Atlanta. If he got him a card, he'll be all right. He'll be A-OK. He'd be A-OK for them piss tears, because I know my boy like to get busy. Yes, indeed. Now, with the topic of, you know, no sympathy for the strong, you know, you got the people, you know, it's a raw, unfiltered conversation about, you know, unspoken burden carried by those, you know, everyone depends on in a world that praises strength but ignores the cost. The strong are expected to lead, provide, protect, and endure without complaint, without rest, and without support. So that goes for men and women, because I know men and women who hold down households that are the anchors of their family, the strength, you know, the motivation. And the only thing they do is just carry it on their back. You know, put that saddle on that horse and just gallop. Just gallop through life, going hard, blinders on. No, you feel it.
I have definitely felt it. Yes. I'm in a different phase of my life right now, though. So
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's great to have somebody, a counterpart or a helpmate to make this journey, you know, a successful journey and a more comfortable one.
I think that helps, but I think the first question is you have to ask yourself, why do I feel like I have to be so strong? And who am I doing this for? So I
would love to hear the woman's perspective on that.
I think that I have so many feelings about this, but I think that women and men too, I think it's important that you kind of dive under our, and not everyone has this. Everyone doesn't have the desire to be strong or the fortitude to be strong, but a lot of us have to be strong. So it's a necessity. Um, and a lot of people, take on that burden willingly and almost make that part of, their personality and who they are. But the question is why? Like, where does that come from? Where does that necessity and where does the need to be so strong come from? A lot of it, I think, is trauma, or that's just how we learn to have our needs met, is to carry burdens like that. So I feel like if you dig under it and realize if you're being strong for you, that's one thing. If you're being strong because you think that's what makes you worthy or that's what you find, value in yourself is to be the strong one, that's a completely different situation. A lot of us are strong because we don't have any other options. And I think that that's a lot of the reason why women find themselves being strong, or stronger than they think that they should be. And men too. Men feel this unspoken requirement to be strong and don't show, any weakness, because that creates an opportunity for someone to take advantage of you or take your place. Um, and I think a lot of the issues we have when it comes to strength become self-inflicted. We keep that up way too long. So
I feel you.
why we feel like we need to be so strong, and then at least you could understand what your purpose is or why you're doing it.
For sure. Well, a woman's standpoint, she was supposed to be led, by a strong man trying to get her to the promised land or get the whole family to the promised land. So taking on that strength and being strong, those questions would arise for you. But with us, men, we just have to, take it on the chin with no expectations. I mean, like, the expectations are high, but still, you can't come up with no excuses. There's no excuses. That is your value. Like, we ask that question, like, is a man's value only wrapped up in what he can provide? Yes. Yes.
I definitely think we live in a society where those things are expected, yes. But I guess the other question is what does strong actually mean? What is strong? What's strong for a woman versus strong for a man?
Mm.
Because a lot of people confused strength with, like you said, invincibility.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not realistic or reasonable, in my opinion. We are still human. We are still man. We have, things that we are not invincible as much as we would like to think we are, and men feel like they have to be. I don't think that, women really want you to be invincible. What they want you to be is the lighthouse. Be the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the time, and I think, to me personally, that's what strength looks like. It looks
Right.
like stability. It looks like guidance. It doesn't look like perfection. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like consistency. It looks like, make sure we know we still moving in the same direction. That is strength.
Mm-hmm.
Loyalty, again, consistency, stability, uh, just be there, be present.
Mm-hmm.
So say you're out lost, in the ocean, and you really don't know where to go. Seeing a lighthouse doesn't change you from being any further away from it. But what it does is it gives you something to look towards, to guide you, it makes you feel safer, knowing that now I know where my position is. Now I know where I'm located. Now, I have a point of reference.
Mm-hmm.
When you are out there in the world and you don't have a point of reference, that's what's scary, especially for a woman.
Right.
We need a point of reference. And
Um,
so I feel like when we ask men to be strong, that is what we're actually asking for, It's a point of, give me a point of reference. Let me know where home is, where it's safe, where it's, where I know my refuge is, those types of things. We're not asking you to be invincible and go out and wear a cape and, slay the dragon every day, even though that's what you have to do. And society, asks you to do that. But for me as a woman, that is what I'm asking for when I ask for strength from a man.
First, I'm gonna give you a round of applause for that, because I truly can respect that whole thing you just gave us. I can really respect that, and I pride myself in being that lighthouse. I pride myself in that, tricking my mind into, for me, being invincible. That gives me, that's my, that what wakes me up. That's what keeps me pushing throughout my work week, work month, work year, every quarter. Like that's how I'm built. Maybe it's a military mindset, being I've been to the military, the way I was raised, you know what I mean? Like I refuse to let, my mother ran my house, and I refuse to allow a woman that shouldn't be in that position be in that position. I take that role with pride. I take that role proudly. I love the weight being on me.
Why do you like the weight being on you?
I love the weight being on me because I depend on me, and I like when others depend on me. I'm a man first, and I'm God engineered. I'm God engineered, and I'm a man first, and I take pride in that. I don't look at that no other. I can't see it no other way. I won't allow a woman to carry me. My helpmate, oh yeah, I by all means, I will get out your way. If it's not my responsibility, I take on enough responsibility to let you take on your responsibility, and I trust that you'll be able to do it. Because I have this in my realm, I have the CEO, which is myself, and the GM, which is, my counterpart. And I never see a CEO arguing with his GM because he hired properly.
Therein lies a word.
you
gotta
know what
hire
I mean?
properly.
Nah, for real. Like
out here recruiting appropriately.
I know most people don't. They hear that terminology and be like, but most GMs run the show.
But they take the direction from the CEO.
Of course, but we already had the SP.
The CEO sets the goals. The CEO sets the.
That's why we have an SOP in order.
Right.
We got standard operating procedures. Now she is to, dictate the SOP to the other employees that's in the home, which will be the children. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if I've already set the standard operating procedures, there's already a direction in which we're going. We already have a mission that we're embarking on. So you already know what the mission is. We already set the goals. Whether we reset on each quarter we reset. Sometimes it might be a week to week change, like what we're going into this phase next week.
Yeah.
Once that's been dictated, we discussed it. Now we're moving in that direction. I think a lot of the strength just are strong. They just go to work, get the money, bring it home. There's no plan in order. There's no S&P in order. So there's nothing to follow. So you don't know what your role is. But once we've set that standard, now we follow it. It's easy. It's really easy. Everybody says communication is a big thing, but what are you communicating? What are we communicating?
I heard you say that once. What are we communicating in a relationship? We've had this conversation in the past, mm-hmm. And I was surprised by that comment. I think you even said something about, what do we need to talk about? I've already told you the direction we're going in. So that's when it's important. And this is just my opinion.
Mhm.
That is when it's important for a man, the leader, the CEO,
Mhm.
to understand that that sometimes you have to do you have to do some preventative maintenance in order to, or some continuous improvement in order to be able to continue keeping people on their path, keep them directed in the right way, make sure everybody's still aligned and everybody's still moving in the right direction. And I'll use some corporate terms, because that's what I do. You wouldn't have a group of employees, CEO, and
Mhm.
never and never give them one-on-ones, would you? You would never actually like let a long amount of time go by and not give them feedback about their
Mhm.
performance. You would give
Of
them,
course.
a check-in to make sure that they know that you're still investing in them and their, and what they got going on. You wouldn't, you shouldn't let their performance review be a surprise to them because you haven't checked in to give them feedback all year. Like, these are things we do in the corporate world. Why do we think that we don't need to do
And
these
do them
relationships?
for real.
We
Like
need
though I
to
told
check
you,
in.
it might change week to week. I say week to week we might boom. And those check-ins along with, you know, a mental check too. I always do a mental check too. Like even with my partners, when I call my partners, I do a mental check on my partner. Say, how you doing, bro? No, really, how you feeling? Now I also do that with the partner as well. I got to, because you know that burden. That burden, I mean, that burden is a mug. That burden is a mug. People carry that burden and they gotta release. Like I like that. I like that jump in the whip, open the roof, turn on some music, get you in a good headspace, and then a good 2 questions. It's too much for you right now? Is it too much for you right now? You need a break? Need a break? Say something. Cause if you don't say nothing, I don't know nothing. So I always check. That check. I can't give too much of a check because with those emotions are they'll scale too high, and then you get caught up in the emotion instead of to get into the action. And then it's like if you allow a child to cry so much, they'll continue to always every time they ask for something, they whining and moaning, in that
Because
tone.
you're teaching them that that's how their needs get met.
Yeah, but then you gotta shut it down. You gotta shut it down.
Or you teach them other means to get the
Right.
things that they want. Right.
These are the times where you voice how you're feeling. This is
Right.
the floor is yours now.
Right.
The floor is yours. So here you go. Go ahead and speak your piece. We're gonna rectify it right here. We're not going back until we rectify all things. And then when we get here, there's no need to be revisiting this portion of it. There's no need to rectify this portion of it again.
Unless the need is not being met still.
Right. But then that's what rectifying means. People think just because they discussed it, they mean we've talked about it, so it's dead now. No, we got to come to a conclusion.
Well, and is there action being taken place to address
Of
whatever is
course.
brought up?
There's
But
no
you got
need
to
to have
remember
a
too,
conversation if the action's not going to be.
right?
That's
But you got to remember that people change and their needs are going to change, and what they may need now, to rectify a situation might not sustain them, or the need that they have is going to shift a little, and it's and they may understand after they've started receiving whatever the thing is that they told you that they needed. They may come to a conclusion that says, hey, I realized that I told you I needed this then, but that's why these check-ins are important.
yeah.
I realized I told you I needed this then, and at that time that is what I needed, and now I'd like to bring this back up and say, we may need to pivot a little because now my needs are slightly different.
Now is
So
that collective? Is that personal or is that collective? Because
what do you
that's
mean?
personal.
But my personal becomes part of the collective if you want us to be working the same way and moving in the same direction.
Right. But Now that's stirring the pot, creating confusion.
How is that creating confusion by communicating one's needs?
Now we just communicated the needs. Now we've rectified this in a specific time frame. Now we've rectified this. Now we're on to something else. You know what that does to a man? Like, no, now we thought, because normally when we nip something in the bud, we're pushing forward now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're staying the course. Now we done got this situated. Okay, I need more time. I need another date night, or this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. All right, cool. Boom. Saturday, let's go get some seafood real quick. Nice little boil. We done got the date night out the way. Now we coming back, cuddle time, maybe a little action, you know what I mean? A little headboard movement, just for content purposes.
And that's all wonderful. I got a question. How long does this continue? Because I'm going to tell you, and again, I'm not speaking for all women, but I am going to speak for a lot of women, and I'm going to speak for a lot of people, because this doesn't have to just be women.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people can make change, but can they sustain that change? Plenty of women complain all the time about, I can tell a man that I need something, and I'm not going to take the man and woman part out. I can tell someone that I need something, and they can meet that need for a short duration, and then that falls off. Anybody can make a change for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But if your woman is coming to you and telling you, I need more engagement, that's what she's saying when she wants a date night. She's not asking for a date night. She don't care about going on no dates. You know what she wants? She wants engagement from you. I want your attention. That's what a woman is saying when she says, I need more date nights. I need these things. She needs your attention. She doesn't feel like she's getting your attention. Now, and that can come from multiple reasons. It could be, you are not actually giving her as much engagement as as you should be, because life is life, and we are busy with work, we busy with kids, we busy with all these things. She needs to feel like a priority. And also, number 2, maybe she's not pouring into herself and giving herself as much engagement as she should be giving. And so she's looking to you to be the only source of engagement. And that, my friend, is unreasonable.
I was just about
completely unreasonable, which is why I said women need to find happiness within themselves before they ask other people to give them happiness. And men do too.
Yeah.
For some reason, it seems easier for men to do that, though. Women, though, we are not taught. In society, we are not taught to find happiness within. We are taught to expect that happiness will come with this checklist that we're supposed to mark off. You got to find you somebody, you got to, have a baby, you got to do all these things. And then you get to be happy, because that is where happiness lives. Instead of us teaching young women and young girls, no, you come happy. You should come into these situations happy. You have to decide to be happy regardless. This is how you end up in this strong conversation.
Because you got to tell somebody that he's not responsible for your happiness.
I'm not, right. It's a different thing to ask someone to be responsible for you and to be responsible with you.
Right.
I don't want somebody to be responsible for me, but I do want someone to be responsible with me.
I like the way you said that. Yeah. What we're going to do is slide into these comments real quick, because they is beating up the comments over here. We're going to get past that one. Okay. It's Sunday. Let rain be great. Big Sco said. Soul says, okay, it's all well, LOL. He says, do you have to be strong, or you have to maintain your strength? Do you have to be strong, or you have to maintain your strength? Because he said, strong is one act. Strength is what you gain over time.
What is strength in your opinion?
Strength?
Or what does it mean to be strong?
When it's strong in life, it's endurance. The long suffering portion of it, I don't I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the long suffering. I believe that if we set short-term goals and accomplish these short-term goals on to the next, you know, it's, I believe in strength, like he said, is what you do over time. And you should have a track record of it, a track record of strength.
Is strength resilience?
Yeah, resilience, most definitely. Oh, come on now, because you know when we had that there. Yes. Where is it? Don't I'll say, is resilience mistaken for emotional invincibility? I don't. Me as a man, I do let my emotions get me sometimes,
As they should.
but I've learned to put them to bed. As crazy as it sounds, like I can choose. It's always a choice. I can choose to remain in this pocket of being down about something or being upset about something. I've learned to rid myself of these situations through comedic acts. Like some of these, you know, sometimes when something gets the best of me, it's not suppressing, it's actually getting past it. You know what I mean? Being realistic. You know what I mean? Like most people do things that they were taught. Like somebody told you that you had to be, oh, I needed time to cool down. Did you really need time to cool down? What that little incident that just happened allowed you to be upset for that amount of time? Like you needed a whole day to cool off. Now, most people may need that, or that's what they was trained to do. I've trained myself to not need to do that. I don't need to be upset for this long. I didn't need that amount of time to cool off. I'm being an adult about this situation. Like I'm not going to allow this emotion to ruin this entire day. Like that was a moment. That was a moment. Dion said it best. He said, oh, I've had bad moments. I haven't had a bad day. You allowed it to be a bad day. You allowed that moment to linger for that long. You allowed yourself not to speak to that person for that amount of time. Sometimes you got to let a dead dog die. You know, sometimes you got to let that argument be in that moment and let it be gone. You know, the people say, oh, don't go to bed mad. Yeah, you know what? We really ain't got to let it go that long at all. It really doesn't have to go all the way to bedtime. Yeah, you was upset. You was upset for real, that long, for real. Okay, I've trained myself to be like, no, I'm not letting that shit beat me up like that. I'm not gonna let that get the best of me. I'm not gonna let that happen.
So when you get upset, what do you do?
When I get upset,
So say someone does something to offend.
Mm-hmm.
What does the process look like for you when you've taken offense to something?
Conversation.
So you have a conversation.
Conversation.
And what does that conversation look like? What's the goal of that conversation?
To let what happened be known.
So you want to state your offense or the offense.
And
then what?
And then once I've stated my offense, it depends on how they respond. If they respond and like they don't care, or they respond and they do care. Either way, I'm not going to change it coming back tomorrow with the same conversation. We're going to have the same argument again. We're not going to have the same
resolution is what I'm asking, because it sounds like, and I'm just gathering from what you said. So you want your offense to be noted, right? And are you asking the person to take responsibility for the offense, or are you only seeking to understand whether or not they did it maliciously or intentionally to offend you, or not? Like, and what does that do? Where does that go?
The more I do it, or when I have done it, a lot of times, like a lot of the conversations that we do have on the pod on No Middleman, no, really, when we do have these spots, I realize that a lot of people don't really care.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like they don't really care.
Oh, but I'm gonna tell you the secret.
But that's why I've trained myself to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go and say, I'm gonna let you know what you did. I'm gonna let you know exactly what you did. I'm gonna let the offense be known, but then however you take it, whatever the case may be, that's where we're going to move. That's how we gonna move. That's how we gonna move with that. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna allow that to, dictate the rest of, this third week of January. You know what I mean? Speak.
I agree with not getting stuck in an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious. Everybody handles conflict in different ways. And sometimes I don't think people give themselves a chance to understand why someone offended them. And they don't give the person that offended them a chance to understand how they feel about it, and that they, and show them where the boundary is that they cross so they don't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
They just expect that everyone is going to continue to offend them. And so you live in this state of offense, and then everything offends you.
Everything offends you.
Oh, and then you walking around with this giant boulder on your shoulder, and you wonder why people can't get through. You know what I mean? Like, so really, again, with the self-infliction, you are doing that to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, how do we not do that? How do we put the boulder down and not have to be so strong? Because now I feel like you're using the word strong as like impenetrable. Like you can't be affected.
I can't be affected at all.
That's not fair. We are affected, and you have to. We are human. We will be affected. The question is, how do you resolve that effect? Like being affected. How do you get through that? Do you give people a chance to resolve a conflict with you and better understand so they don't make that offense again? Or do you just, is it more comfortable for you to not be vulnerable and have those kind of conversations and just expect that people are gonna do you wrong all the time? And the reality is, the world we live in, yes, people don't have to care about you. They don't. Nobody owes you that.
They don't owe you a good morning, or
No,
like
they don't owe you
a gentleman told me that when I was like 23. He was like, "Bro, nobody owe you a good morning or a hello.
Nobody owes you anything.
Owe you nothing."
But that doesn't mean that that's how you have to look at the world. You would be hard pressed, to have a good day if you constantly looking at the world thinking don't nobody owe you nothing. It's the reality that we have to swallow, but let's not dwell in that space. Or, the whole idea of being the change you want people to be.
Mm-hmm.
Being what you want people to do. Treat people the way you want them to treat you, and you would be surprised, if you create that space.
I've learned that. I learned that I'm not going to let the next individual change the way I handle my business, the way I handle people, period. But I will take you I'll take you completely off the board. And I'm good with that. I'm good with taking you completely off the board to where I won't have to endure what you got coming. Because most people don't learn. You can talk to them and tell them how to treat you. They won't care. You know what I mean? But you give them that opportunity, and when you gave them the opportunity, they fail. Be like, hey, take you off the board.
Yeah, people like that should not stay in your circles.
Nah. And it's like, who do you think you are? Well, guess what? In this world of 1 billion individuals, I'm me.
Right.
And my circle is important to me.
Yes.
And it just is what it is. And that's how we're going to take it. My boy Soul says, that's why most men are only strong emotions. Only allow you to be strong in moments. Strength is enduring, can't be emotional.
Can I say something about that?
Of course.
Okay. For me, my strength has come from, and no, I don't work in law or therapy, but I have had a lot of therapy because I have had a lot of things happen in my life. I'm a huge proponent for therapy. And therapy has given me freedom from those things like offenses. And for me, therapy has taught me, which is going to answer your question, how to separate myself from an emotion. My therapist always tells me emotions are indicators. They should not be dictators. When you feel a feeling, It is you, it is your body, and it is your spirit telling you that a need is not being met. Even if you don't know what the need is, and it's meant to stop you in your tracks and say, what is happening right now that created this emotion in me? Like, what am I actually feeling? But a lot of people do not know how to do that. They get it's and I'm gonna say, especially women, it is very difficult for us because we are emotional creatures hormonally and by nature. Like, we were designed that way to function in an emotional space. It's part of the nurturing and all the things that we need to be the kind of providers that we have to be, and to connect with people and things the way we do. The problem is when we don't know how to separate ourselves from an emotion and we act in that space. We're allowing emotion to be a dictator versus an indicator. And that is when you lash out at people. That's when you're not hearing what people saying. You just functioning in this bubble that you've created around yourself, and it is impenetrable.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no resolve. You cannot argue with a person that's in the midst of an emotion because they're not being logical.
At all.
Not logical at all. And a lot of people, and I will say a lot of women, function every day in that bubble, and they are constantly, being drugged around by these things that they feel versus stopping and asking themselves, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? And what does this mean?
And it's usually
Sometimes it's illogical.
a bush.
And not until you can look at yourself in the mirror and go, I'm being completely illogical right now.
For real.
That's okay. We do.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until you can open your mouth and say, this isn't going to sound logical, but I feel it. And so I need you to give me some grace in this moment, especially when you have partners. You know what I'm saying? Like a partnership, you got to be able to say those kinds of things. Like, this is going to sound crazy.
Yeah.
This is a feeling that reared up inside of me. And I want to understand why, what created this feeling, what triggered this feeling. Because a lot of times it's just triggers and trauma and things like that. And when you start digging through those things, that's why I said therapy, shadow work, all of them things are super important. So you can separate yourself from the emotions that you feel. I'm not going to say that they go away, but what it does is it creates a space between you and your emotion, you and your ego. Because again, those things are designed to protect you from being hurt. Your ego is, my therapist would tell me, your ego's job is to protect you from being hurt. Your soul's job is for you to grow. And they're going to constantly be fighting because your ego don't want you to get hurt. It wants to protect you at all costs, even if that means I isolate you and nobody, and then you become impenetrable. But your soul needs to grow. And so, that means I need to be vulnerable. I need to be able to say, I'm hurt. This hurt. And this is why. I feel like a lot of the times people think that being strong means being invincible, like you said, and not having feelings. No, it's not about being invincible, but it is about not getting so lost in the emotion that you don't know what to do or what you're doing.
Right.
And that you out here slinging your emotions on everybody else. And that's not fair because you don't know how to manage your own emotions.
I dig what you're saying.
To me, that's what therapy will teach you how to do if you're doing it right. It teaches you how to manage your emotions and separate yourself from an emotion so that you're not out here acting in emotion. Let's act in logic. We live in a real world where things have to be done, and problems have to be solved. And you laying around and being, feeling upset about things ain't productive.
Yeah.
Plug in therapy.
I am truly listening to everything that you said. I am truly listening to everything you said. You said a whole lot, and I can truly appreciate that. I ain't gonna even lie to you. See, that's what they need to hear. That what these women that be on our panel, they need to hear that. They need to hear that. I'm being serious.
It's the men need to hear it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because some men live in this state of rage. It's the only
What?
emotion they know.
What? They think that this the side of life that is just functioning properly does not exist. And
That's
this
not
world, this world can be whirling, doing whatever it does. This
yeah.
life can be life and doing whatever it does. It's up to you to pick your portion out of it and stay in your lane. You have to stay in your lane.
I think our jobs are to figure out what makes us happy and find people that complement those things.
Yeah, of course. Can
But
you?
that
Is it possible? Is it possible?
what happiness?
Yeah, it's possible. I'm talking about. I'm saying it's very possible to
Oh
find
yeah,
that
absolutely.
that counterpart that will make that
But
will.
it is not possible until you have found happiness within yourself. You cannot ask people to compliment something you ain't got. If you ain't already happy,
So you think that lies more on the man's side or the woman's side,
I
in your
think it
opinion?
lies
In
in
your
both.
opinion,
I think it lies in both sides. I think women have the propensity to look for happiness in others and create that. I mean, think about all the women in the world who, they live for their children, and when their children grow and are gone, they don't know who they even are. Like
at
you're not
all.
even a whole person. That's the thing. You got to make yourself a whole person before you can expect a man to love you or a woman to love you. Make yourself a whole person, because if you're asking for other people to fill these giant holes in you that you haven't filled yourself, you are destined for heartache and drama and toxicity, and not because people intentionally do these things, but if we all walking around with these big ass holes in ourselves, like how do we expect other people to pour into us if I got all these holes?
Mm.
I'm just pouring out to it's just this would be wasteful.
So do people respect strength or do they exploit it?
I think both. I don't know that people know what strength really is.
Mm. Hold on a second. I'm listening to my boy AP.
Niggas like to scream, I'm a real nigga. I'm real this, I'm a real that. Let me tell you something, man. That ain't easy to be, bro. That ain't easy to be. You care about people that you know ain't gonna care about you back. You go all out for people that's what being real is, man. That's what being real is. Sometimes you gotta take it on the chin as a real man. Sometimes you do stuff that you don't want to do. You gotta swallow your pride to be real. It ain't always easy being real. You carry everybody else's burden. Niggas want to scream, I'm a real this, I'm a real that, until it's time to be that. That's why you don't see too many real niggas. Everybody can't be real. Everybody can't be a real man. Everybody can't be solid. Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot caring about people that you know don't care about you like that, that ain't going to be the same way you are, that ain't going to put forth the same effort for day in and day out to continue to do it. Not for them, for you. For you. Because that's who you are. That's who you are. So everybody with all that, I'm real, nigga, you ain't ready to be real, nigga. You ain't ready to stand on certain principles, nigga. That's why y'all niggas fold under pressure. It ain't too many of us out here, nigga. We real, for real, nigga.
Mm. Be spitting that fat on it.
I completely agree.
Mm.
But
Mm.
can I say something?
Oh, of course.
You can
Wait, look. Your perspective is I love hearing your perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the audience is loving hearing your perspective. You know what I mean? So you're welcome. The floor is yours. This is yeah.
I hear everything that man is saying, and I completely agree with him. I just want people to think about what he's saying. Loving people and they don't love you back. Carrying the burden for people who ain't gonna appreciate it. These things. What is that really? You know what that word is actually called?
What's that?
Vulnerability. It's the strongest thing you can do. It's also the scariest thing you can do because it ain't no guarantee of what's going to be on the other side of it. You making yourself vulnerable is how you grow. And you have to make yourself uncomfortable. Being vulnerable, and you know, a lot of people think that vulnerability is just me saying, you know, Plugg, I love you, and not knowing if you're gonna say I love you back. That ain't just vulnerability. Vulnerability is being able to say, you know what, something you did hurt me, and not knowing whether that person is going to make an excuse about it or make you feel bad about having just said that. It's all that it is, literally exposing yourself to not know what the outcome is going to be. That is what vulnerability is, and that's exactly what he's talking about. So to be real is really just being vulnerable. Period. And putting yourself out there and not knowing what the outcome gonna be. And that is the most terrifying thing a human can do, because we need to know the outcome, because that is how we base our actions out of. We ain't gonna invest in something we ain't sure gonna be real. But how do you ever grow if you don't put yourself out there sometimes?
Yeah, we had a show about losing friendships, like losing friends, and like everybody. My boy Classic Codes, he has this show. If y'all out there, please check out the Classic Codes. Also a part of the Raw Society Coalition, Souls of Thought, Conversations with Soft Rain, and the Tears Down. If y'all get a chance to go and check that out. On the show, we actually did reactions to his show called Losing Friends. And at that time, I was going through it with one of my closest friends. You know what I mean? Situation that transpired. And you know, I went on there and I started thinking. And I was listening to his points that he was making, and it really hit on a lot of things. It started to sway my thought process. One of the people that we'll both have, you know, interactions with, seen the show and actually said something to him. So he didn't even know. He didn't even know that it was on that level. He had no clue, because I talked to him, but we didn't talk about it. You know what I mean? I talked to him, we didn't talk about it. But when he seen that, he went and looked and said, "Hold on, bro, man, hold on, bro. Man, I ain't even da, 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 da." He ran his little spiel down or whatever the case may be. But then he started getting defensive, because he was on man, you know, we ain't even on that type of time to be da 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 da, man. We ain't on that. So I came back, and I think, since I never said nothing to him about it before, he didn't know that it could actually go there to that level to where I'm like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short, because I was in that season. I'm in that season of, you know what I mean, depleting. I'm like, hey, I'll get you up out of there. I ain't got time to worry about it. I ain't got time to go through it right now. You know, I got other things going on. You know what I mean? It's like what my boy Classic always say: if she tweaking, we tweaking. You know what I mean? So I was in that season of reduction. Like, man, hey, I get you up out of there. But then when I started thinking about the longevity, and, you know, man, people say, no, man, I don't care how long y'all been in there. And I'm not taking on, not saying that what they're saying is right or what they're saying is wrong, but I'm an individual. So I always look at things individually, not as what everyone would do or what society does. I always say what Plugg should do.
Right.
And when Plugg started thinking about the things that he should do, it seems on a lot of planes that the shit that I would do would be totally different than a lot of people. I can agree with what they're saying, and it's not agree to disagree. I agree with what you're saying, bro. I can truly agree. I can understand your standpoint wholeheartedly, but that ain't me. I'm a different individual when it comes to certain things. Like what Buddy was talking about, I'm on that type of time. I pride myself on being that type of time. I for real, and I can try to make you make changes, but I gotta accept you for who you are. But hey, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me every time, bro. I'm not swaying from this. I'm not, because it's been working. You know what I mean? Like if there's something that's going on, we're gonna hit you up, spew my little thing, and get on about my business. Whether we agree or disagree, whatever the case may be, we keep it pushing. I'm on that type of time now. And I'm gonna stay like that. You know what I mean?
It served you this long.
It served me. But my boy, he hold on. Look, we got some comments in here.
I wanna talk about one of the comments.
Which one?
And I wanna where did it go? I want to say it must be Souls of Thought. He keeps talking about vulnerability and how he'll pass on it and take a large order.
Oh, classic.
But
Yeah,
listen, vulnerability is horrible advice for a man, great advice for a boy. Can I take just a second and absolutely agree with you? I want to validate everything the men are saying. Absolutely. Please know that my discussion about vulnerability is not meant to be held with everyone. Because everyone does not deserve your vulnerability, because a lot of people will use your vulnerability as a weapon.
You said that.
Absolutely. And a lot of women do that. Women are notorious for that. And I will be completely honest and agree with everything these men are saying about, we live in a world where that is not okay for men to do. I completely agree. And as you know, raising sons, I try to, as a woman, I'm trying to instill in them the ability to use their words and to be able to communicate, you know, how they feel about things and understand feelings and stuff now, as you know, as boys, so that they're not so separated from their emotions that they don't even understand them. Because a lot of people don't do that. They don't teach boys what emotions are. Like my sons will have a situation and, you know, say something happened and really, you know, he's mad. And he says, I'm mad. And I said, tell me what it is that you're mad about. And he's explaining these things. I said, do you know what that feeling is? He said, what? I said, it's disappointment. It's not mad. You're not mad. You're disappointed. We aren't allowed to actually feel feelings completely until we give them a true definition. And every feeling is different. You know what I mean? Like pain means one thing, agony means a completely different thing, even though they're similar words, right? I make sure my sons understand that, but I'm also going to raise my sons to know that this world is unforgiving, and there is no space. Even though you know these things, let that be your personal tools that you use especially when you find someone that can understand these things and can create a safe space for you. Because the reality is, there is not many safe spaces for men, especially Black men in this world, to have feelings and have emotions and be vulnerable. And I recognize it, and I hate that we live in that world. And the other thing is, as a woman who asks me to be vulnerable, I will be honest and say it is a double-edged sword, because I don't want you to not share your feelings, but in reality, and this is the illogical part of women, I'm saying this first, the illogical part of us will see some things as weakness. And it does affect how we look at men that we expect to protect and provide and be our lighthouse. You know, we don't necessarily, as women, want to see the upkeep that it takes to keep the lighthouse working. But we know that it's there. And that's why I say it's a double-edged sword. And the reality is, and I'm going to apologize to all men for all women right now.
We had that conversation, and I was like,
so sorry that it is this way. And I'm so sorry that
I'm not swinging on
as
the
women, we ask for things that we can't appreciate enough without it creating, this crack.
You heard what he said?
Well, he said, you have to get vulnerable just to be turned off. And you are right. You are right. Because what we're asking for is impossible. We're asking for you to show us vulnerability and still be strong. But I think that that's a character flaw in us as women. And it I don't want you to not buy the vulnerability, because there has to be at least a hint of it for a woman to connect with you. Otherwise, we feel like y'all are like monsters. Like, y'all gotta understand, as a woman in a feminine space, we need y'all to be in this masculine energy that is strong and all of these things. We need that in order for us to be completely feminine. The reality is that, you know, that the sacrifice and the trade-off is that y'all don't get to show us vulnerability because you worry it will create, and rightfully so, you worry it will create a crack in what we believe, in what we see in the image of you. So maybe the solution, and I'm processing this as I'm talking, maybe the solution is not finding it in a woman, a place to be vulnerable. Maybe the process should be finding it in another man. But can you do that with a man? And I'm asking as a woman, because I don't know. Is it okay for you to be vulnerable with your homeboys? And I'm not saying all of them, but is there a space between men, that a safe space where you all can be honest with each other and be like, life sucks? Is it everybody saying no? Is that true?
I don't know, because I'm a safe space.
For your
I mean,
friends?
that's my profession.
They said men don't do that often. Men should talk to their dog and God, same words, say them twice.
Yeah.
Would it be, here's the question. Could you be stronger for yourself and for the people that you protect and provide for if you had a space?
I do have a space.
So why do we resist that? Why do men resist it? Say it again?
That's their business.
And you don't ever want other men to feel like you are weak?
That depends on who you're talking to. Everybody's not built like that. Everybody's not built to be a safe space. They put themselves in a situation where they can't see it no other way. They're not a safe space. Because they have no safe space, they won't let themselves be a safe space either.
That's true, because they don't know the value in it.
Me? Give a damn about that. I'm gonna let you know what I'm going through. I'm gonna let you know, dog. It is what it is.
How is that received from other men?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I mean, I can respect it.
Like this, I don't. It's not just a full-on crash out type of situation to where it's like I don't give a fuck. Like I don't. My not giving a fuck is a lot higher than my giving a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not. I'm telling you because I assumed you were a safe space, and if you're not a safe space, then all right, then my nigga.
Look, somebody literally just said that in the comments. He said, we don't involve other men in business, but wait a minute. The problem with talking to people is your vulnerability is safe as long as y'all are cool.
Yeah.
And then the other person says, what is it? I got enemies whose secrets I done kept. To this day, everybody ain't like that. I'm gonna be honest, and here you want to hear it. That is feminine behavior. When you go and you tell people stories and tell people business because y'all ain't cool no more, that's a bitch behavior. And
hey,
you tell anybody that is bitch behavior.
You heard it from a woman's mouth,
you heard
right?
it from me. Because as a woman, I would never do that. Because and I say that is how bitches behave, and that's not appropriate behavior. And as a real woman, I would never tell a person's story because I would never want someone to do that to me. But I also, like I said, I move different. So
yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like my dog business is my dog business. My dog business is my dog business. He is. My dog business is my dog business. And if he told me his business is my business. You know what I mean? And I ain't in the business of spreading my dog business. You know what I mean? He said the only way to find out a space ain't safe is to enter. And if the door is optional, why walk in? That shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. It's true, and in his realm, it's true. You know, mine. I didn't say something to somebody. You know, told him something, and he said, "Man, I really appreciate you, like really trusting me with that information right now." And it created a friendship in the chair.
You don't realize you have so many things in common with people that you come in contact with every day. Y'all going through similar situations, and you know.
Yeah, it was something as simple as him telling me, "Man, this fatherhood is crazy, man. He just had a baby." He said it's crazy. You know, not going into what else we were talking about. I just called to check on him. "What's up, bro? You good?" He was like, "Bro, hold on. Let me call you back." Call me back and said, "Dog, you know, don't nobody check on me."
Why do y'all not check on each other?
Bro, he said, "Don't nobody check on me, man." He said, "Man, don't nobody check on me." I said, "It's some crazy shit, bro."
Why do men not check on each other? Is it because you wouldn't say nothing no way?
You want to get to the bottom of some shit? Hey, I don't know what type of shit.
I think men are.
Motherfuckers done been through some shit, man. Motherfuckers done been through some shit, like being that before they became this savage monster, they were, you know, they were that person. They was that person. They was that one that was trying to be vulnerable, trying to be, you know what I'm saying, trying to be open, trying to be that dude for people, men and women, and they got rejected.
Oh yes.
And most are living every day in that rejection.
In that jaded feeling and betrayed. Yes. We are living in betrayal and offense.
Daily basis.
But my question to you is, how productive is that to keep walking around with it? You really think you protecting yourself? Really, you just walking around with this armor?
It depends on what you're divulging.
And again, please don't think I'm out here thinking y'all should just be open books, because I ain't no open book either. I tell people all the time, I have multiple types of friends, you know, and I don't call people friends, but in my tribe of people that I allow to be in my life and support me, and I support them, you know, and I give them, you know, a relationship. I have friends that know some of the things. I have friends that know most of the things. And I have one friend that knows all the things. And because usually she's standing next to me doing all the things. So please know, friendships come in tiers as well. And you got to be smart about these types of things. I'm not saying you should be out here, you know, spreading all your business to all the people, but I think every single person needs one person that will check on them, one person that does care, and that you get to be your full, unadulterated, raw self with. And if you don't have that, that is exhausting. I cannot imagine walking up, you know, or walking through life and not having a safe, soft place to land. In a perfect world, that would be your partner. But a lot of the times that is not, and understandably so, because like I said, you can't be the lighthouse if she knows it's got cracks in it.
He says, "Everyone, all right, let's go back to what Soul said."
A bunch of, they talking now.
They in there. He said, "But see, some can feel, even without names, they can feel their information is leaked. I feel men don't open up due to we still see the flaws, even in people we call friends. Flaws mean opportunity for leakage."
That's why I said I have tiers of friends.
Tears.
And not because I'm afraid that they're going to tell my business specifically, because also I'm never going to tell something I wouldn't want someone to know. or wouldn't want the world to know, but also because I don't know that they can handle that version of me.
Trauma responses show themselves differently. Everyone who is standoffish isn't jaded.
That's true.
Hey, welcome, Journey McCurry. He says men don't take kindly into intervention, even it's necessary. Like, for example, if a nigga save your wife and kids from a fire, you gonna look crazy. The fuck?
What?
Everybody doesn't need people. Some folks are loners. Loners understand social people. Social people don't understand loners.
I can agree with that. I have not read the book Tribe, but should I read the book Tribe?
It's just life, killer. we had conversations, man. We had conversations, man, and she's just been living, man. She's just been living. Being social has pros and cons, and so does being to oneself. Nothing wrong with either path.
I agree with that. I think you should have a balance of both.
So hit the like button, B. Hit the like button. It says, I think we are delusional about reality for the sake of convenience. Ain't no safety. It is what it is. We must all embrace the cons that come with the pros on the path you chose. Hey, that's a bar, bro.
He sounds like Confucius.
Classic Confucius. What he says, yeah, I'm a loner. He said, yeah, I'm loner, man. I'm loner, man. Be sensitive, but empathetic. Little do women know men are a lot kinder than women think.
I agree with that. Men are much more gentle of the of the sexes, and they tolerate us, which is, and it's because God gave us the only one thing that you need in life. You kind of ain't got no other options.
Cool. Oh, it's flexibility. That's what it is. I think women need to switch vulnerability to men being better communicators. You can communicate without vulnerability.
I think you can communicate without. I think you can communicate to a level without vulnerability.
Communication without the emotion.
I think that's what I would believe that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
communicate. We can communicate without emotion. I don't know that it's smart to communicate without vulnerability.
Like I had been testy. I know I've been tested. You know what I mean? But I know that
testy with me the other day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely was. But the reason why was because like I didn't realize that the what's the name was coming. My anniversary of my mother's passing this year or last year is coming up. And the crazy thing about it, I was listening to Killer Mike, I was listening to Motherless, and I had just been tested. You know what I'm saying? I had just been tested.
Well, it's okay for you to say, I'm in a state right now. I'm feeling a bunch of things. But I was pissed.
Right. I was pissed at the fact that I was testy.
You were mad that you were feeling?
I'm like, God damn, what I'm tested for? Why I'm so fucking tested?
You acknowledged that you realized what it was that had you in this energy.
Yeah. Right? But then when it finally hit, it was crazy because I was sitting here and we was having the show and they probably saw me looking to the side. I'm looking to the side and I think I brought it up, backstage. You know what I mean? And then I looked and said, damn, the anniversary coming up. Damn, the anniversary coming up. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I was upset with myself. Well, because don't nobody deserve that shit. Whatever I'm going through, don't nobody deserve to feel the wrath of whatever I'm fucking feeling. So that's why I'm mad at myself, because I want to project positivity and you know what I'm saying, not just the fight of emotion, sitting in that pocket of it, like sitting in that fuck ass pocket of it. You making that conscious decision to say I'm sitting in this fuck ass pocket of emotion. And I'm like, dog, and I really sat down after I left the shop. I sat in the truck for a little bit before I came in the crib, and I said, hey man, tighten your fuck ass up, man, with that bullshit, cuz. Like, you tripping. Like for real. So I went to another song, and then I went and played Big Dog Back. You know what I'm saying? Like I went and played that Big Dog Back by my boy Classy, and I just sat back and when I played it, it put me back in a normal state to where I'm like, man, I feel positive. You know what I'm saying? I feel positive again. You know what I'm saying? Like that fight is back. You know what I'm saying? When that fight is back, I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good when I got that fight back, because I'm not gonna be subject to, you know, that fucking emotion. You know what I mean?
But
I ain't gonna be because that type of shit that don't nobody deserve that shit. You know what I mean? I want to be that like you say, that lighthouse, and I want to stay positive.
That is cool, but for you to acknowledge that you realize what was causing you to be in that state, that is very mature.
Mm-hmm.
And then for you to recognize, all right, I'm having all these feelings, and now I need to do something to get up. A lot of people don't have that capability to be able to acknowledge that they know what they feeling, and then figure out how to jump, and not jump out of it. You got to acknowledge that you're having it though, and then move to say, all right, now what am I going to do to move forward? Because some people would just like to lay in feelings, and they get real comfortable wading around in a bunch of emotions and not actually making no progress to the next step.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Freezer. What's happening? No captivity. My Hain City affiliate, man. Hey, man, boy. Hey, appreciate you popping in, man. I really appreciate you, my boy. I really appreciate you, my boy. That's our own team right there. Yeah. Journey said, I think men need to go back to rough barbershop talk. Now that they just avoid sensitive topics overall, the stuff they used to say stuck back then. Yeah, it did, bro.
Isn't that where men used to get all their information, was barbershops?
Yeah.
Why you think I bring my sons to your barbershop?
Yeah, because you said you say you have. Oh, and for anyone who is confused by the complexion.
Oh God.
if anyone is confused by the complexion, she is a black woman.
I am a black woman.
She is not black adjacent. She is black.
I don't know what black adjacent is, but okay. Yes, I am a black woman.
She is not a black adjacent. This is a black woman, black and Creole. Amazing. And yes, like she said, she wanted her sons around black men.
I do. All kinds of black men.
All kinds of black men.
Because as black men, they need to see the modeled behavior, and they don't have a father present. No, for reasons we won't discuss. But and know that men who have fathers, young men who have fathers present to model behavior after, that is such a blessing.
Yes, his father is a good example. His father, I've chilled, I've cooled with his father, man. Ted is Mr. Ted is I love Buddy. That's my guy right there. He can already just I'm adopted. You ain't have to fill out no paperwork. You know what I'm saying? I fall in. You know what I'm saying? I fall in. I'll be the son in line. Yeah.
I have a question for the men. Where should a woman who is raising sons position her sons to be led by and have men to model themselves after?
Sports.
Okay, if other than sports
like coaches. Some lean on the church side of it. That's not where I would go.
One of the comments says with their fathers.
My sons
do not have fathers. They were not born from a father. I wish that was an option. That would definitely be an option, but
yeah. He said, I do that from the side of my voice. I want to marry a black woman. I'm black, but I gotta work TG. I gotta work together. I cannot do part-time parent. I need my baby.
That's right. Then you find a woman that would never take your baby away from you.
If that father is still available, you need to rebuild the relationship.
Okay. Should I just go ahead and tell them why my sons don't have a father?
Oh, that is, now I already told you prior to this. I say I would never put you in any compromise situation.
I was married to a woman for many, many years. And so we have children together. There is no father in my son's life because of that. So it is not because they don't, I don't have a relationship with the father of my children. I I do not have a father present. He said, I'm out.
He said, "Oh, I'm out." LOL. I'm out. Yes, go say it. Put them in sports.
Right,
Sports
and my sons are in sports, but I'm gonna tell you, they like soccer, and it ain't a lot of black men in soccer, unfortunately. Yeah. They won't play football.
one of the gentlemen to this day, Coach Keith, well, he was a resource officer from when I was little up into middle school up into high school, was Bernie Hayes. Most don't have that now, where that resource officer, you know what I mean, he helped me, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of ways, you know what I mean. He was an awesome individual. He had adopted a son, you know what I mean. On top of having his own kids, he was like the pillar of our community. A lot of people who was trying to, go on the wrong path, you know what I'm saying, he saved my hide a couple of times when I was out there in them streets doing what I was doing. He saved my hide a couple of times. So he wasn't just an officer of the law, he was also a man first.
Yeah.
Some people get lost in that, like I never looked at police officers bad because of him. Now I know the difference between the way they was handling me, or you was a fuck boy, from a real one. So it was good to actually know a real one. Then when I did encounter the fuck boys, I knew the difference. I knew the difference. You know what I'm saying? But I understood that because he explained, like, this is my job. This ain't who I am. You know what I'm saying? Who I am is who y'all need me to be, and that's somebody positive in y'all life. So he always had our back. I know anybody who graduated in my class, 98, probably 99. I don't know what transpired after those years, but that time and down, he always had our back. Always. He never gave any fuck nigga energy ever. He was always solid. You was wrong, your ass was wrong. He was like a father. He was like a father. He gonna tell you when you're wrong. He gonna compliment you, pick you up, and strong as hell too. Pick you up when you did good. You know what I'm saying? He always had our back. Man, he was in the church, but he was in the community more than he was in the church. Bought shoes, bags, clothes, everything. He was that. You know what I mean? So he showed me what that father figure looked like up until, them, especially during them impressionable years, up until like 16, 17. He was in my life to 16, 17. So said, no, I respect it. Plug will tell you I can relate more than you know. He also said, black men went that route after separating, so I can relate.
Baby mama went that route.
Just got to have discernment too with the coaches looking to mentor programs in your city for your young men. That's Conversation with Soft Rain. That is another member of our Raw Society Coalition. She is the first lady of RSC.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, is looking for resources for mentorships and just places where my sons can be and have access to good men.
For sure.
That's super important to me.
In this area, it's kind of different because these are like a lot of professional men around in this area, and their time is like limited. But I also have a client that does a homie. You know what I'm saying? He's actually from Florida. He do mentorship. You know what I mean? And I think his son is just a little older than your son. So
yeah.
That I could definitely reach out to him for y'all talk to you about that backstage.
Yeah, I've been finding some places and some things, you know, also my sorority, I'm looking at my frat brothers as options, as, you know, so just trying to make sure I'm pulling good resources. Like I said, it's enough bad models out there. To, uh, I would like to try to make it, you know, give them as many opportunities to see different men.
Oh yeah. He asked his is she in Texas, Plug? He said plug her in. We can do that for sure. Yeah, she is in Texas. This is
I am, yes.
yes, she's two of my young clients' mother. Yeah, man. Well, Riri, I really appreciate you, man, coming on here with me, man. Wow. I'm pretty sure they got a lot out of this conversation. I'm sure that there will be a reaction video to this video.
I would love to see the
I'm
reaction.
sure my boy Classic or Souls will be doing a reaction video to this, man. And I really am appreciative of you coming on. Loved your perspective. Loved it. And is there anything you like to leave with the people before we close out the show and, you know, tell them like any social media handles, anything you have coming up in the near future, you know, that you would like to share with the audience and let them know how to reach you, get in contact with you, or
No, this is actually the first time I've ever done anything like this. We talked about that and my, you know, my hesitation to do this. I'm a very outspoken person in general, so I guess I do this every day.
for sure.
In regular life, like I'm
Yeah.
not shy
Me too.
at all. I guess I never considered that my opinion would be interesting to anyone else. And so I appreciate the opportunity to, you know, to have a conversation. I'm always interested in what people think and what people have to say. And, you know, I'm not the kind of person that ever tries to get people to believe or agree with my opinion. I believe that the thing that makes us beautiful as people is that we all have different perspectives and vantage points, and you know, our walks in life and our past have taken us and brought us to these places, and here we have a shared experience. And so I think that there's something to learn from every single person that you come in contact with if you give it an opportunity. And so I appreciate this platform. And I appreciate, you know, the comments and the conversation. And I don't know, this was fun. So I really appreciate it. And I know
we've
gonna
have fun.
You've been trying to convince me all week about this. I appreciate it. This was
I told you was gonna have fun, man. I got you.
Corrected. Okay, I'm also the woman that will say I was wrong. I was wrong, Plug.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
It's
Y'all
okay.
hear me? Everybody in the comments?
Yeah.
I
tore there's many layers to this onion. You feel
I know, right?
For sure, man. It's much appreciated, man. I thank you so much, man. I appreciate you so much. And well, if we have nothing else left to say, hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And as always, hey, stay backstage because I'm gonna holler at you after we get off the show.
Okay.
And as always, feel blessed to be Plug.